You know, for so many people, hearing the words, "you have Parkinson's," feels like an ending. But what if it's not? What if it could actually be a new beginning? In this explainer, we're going to look at a really powerful new way of thinking that shifts the focus from the illness back to the person. It all starts right here, in this moment. A doctor says that one phrase, and it lands with the force of an atomic bomb. Your entire world changes in an instant. It's a moment of shock, of fear, and a deep, deep uncertainty that so many people in their families go through. So let's talk about the fallout from that atomic bomb. Let's look at the psychological hit of a standard Parkinson's diagnosis and why, so often, it leaves people feeling completely lost. I mean, just picture this scene, because it's tragically common. You get the diagnosis, you're handed a prescription for some pills, and then you hear, "Okay, we'll see you in a year." You and your family are just sent home, left with all these questions. What do we do now? What's going to happen? It's a shock that hits the entire family. And the result of all that uncertainty and that feeling of being alone, it is staggering. Over half, 50% of all people living with Parkinson's also end up suffering from clinical depression. It's this quiet crisis that's happening right alongside all the physical symptoms we can see. But here's what's really eye-opening. A huge study, the Parkinson's Outcomes Project, found that the things that most destroy a person's quality of life are not the tremors, not the stiffness, it's apathy and depression. Now, that changes everything, doesn't it? It tells us that the emotional and mental battle is absolutely central to living well with this condition. And that very idea, that the psychological battle is the key, is exactly what led to a completely different approach. An approach that was pioneered by someone who just refused to accept things as they were. This is Alexander Reed. He was diagnosed at just 43 years old, and he experienced firsthand a system that he felt was, well, obsolete. A system that treated him like a patient, like a victim. But he believed that no one should ever be made to feel like a victim. So, just 5 years after his own diagnosis, he founded the European Parkinson Therapy Center to treat people, not patients. And this philosophy is built on such a simple but profound shift. When you start seeing people as guests or even as family, the whole dynamic changes. You move away from passive treatment and toward an active partnership. The goal isn't just to manage a disease anymore. It's to rebuild a life. Okay, so how do you actually do that? How do you take this great idea and turn it into a real life-changing strategy? Well, the answer is a structured framework that's built on 4 pillars of hope. It's called the Regen Protocol, and the best way to think of it is as a complete blueprint for regaining control. It's not just about therapy. It's a whole new way of understanding and living with Parkinson's, and it's built on 4 totally essential supports. And here they are, the 4 pillars: medicine, physical activity, lifestyle, and psychology. The core idea is brilliant in its simplicity. Think of it this way. A house with only one wall can't possibly stand, right? You need all 4 working together to support a good quality of life. So pillar number 1 is medicine. And of course, it's the foundation. It's absolutely essential for managing symptoms and getting you moving. But, and this is so important, it's just the starting point. It's a crucial pillar, but it's not the whole house. The second pillar is physical activity, but with a critical twist. This is not just about exercise. It's about conscious movement. When you have to deliberately think before you move, correct your posture, lengthen your stride, you are literally forcing your brain to create new neural pathways. You're building little detours around the damaged areas. This is neuroplasticity in action, and it can help protect the brain. Next up is lifestyle. This is all about making a conscious choice to take back control. It's about accepting that, yes, life has changed, but realizing that you get to decide how it changes. This means choosing to maybe do a little less, but doing more of what you truly, truly love. It's about preserving the quality, not just the quantity of your life. And finally, we have the 4th pillar, psychology. And honestly, this is the cornerstone. This is the one that holds everything else together. Why? Because if apathy and depression take hold, this pillar crumbles. And if it goes, it can bring all the others down right along with it. If we stop caring, we stop exercising, and we stop living. So to keep this pillar strong, they use a simple 4-step method. First, you accept. You have to accept that Parkinson's exists. You can't fight an enemy with your eyes closed. Second, you comprehend the truth, that you can actually influence its progression.
And that knowledge leads to motivation, where you link the exercises you must do with rewards you love, like a walk to your favorite cafe. And only then can you take sustainable action.
So this whole thing really boils down to proactive engagement. It's a complete reversal of that passive wait-and-see approach. It's about replacing apathy with deliberate, powerful action. And the difference in philosophy is it's stark. The standard approach focuses on the illness, treating a patient who is at risk of becoming a victim. This new approach focuses on wellness, empowering a person to be the protagonist of their own story. And just as importantly, it involves the entire family in the journey. Because the greatest danger isn't the condition itself, it's what one neurologist called the vortex of apathy. It's this downward spiral that just pulls you in, wiping out all the protective effects of exercise and positive thinking. And it doesn't just destroy one life, it destroys the lives of everyone around them. This whole approach is designed to stop you from ever getting pulled into that vortex. And this brings us right back to where we started. Parkinson's does not have to be an end. With a new mindset, it can truly, honestly, be a new beginning. The truth is, Parkinson's does not destroy us. It limits us. I mean, think about it. Aging limits us too. And once we can accept those limits, we can adapt. We can reshape our lives, and we can find a new, maybe even more precious way of living. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one powerful idea. We are not victims. The word victim implies we have no choice. But with Parkinson's, you always have a choice. You can become a victim of the diagnosis, or you can choose to fight back. And that leaves us with one last thought. We so often look for therapy in a pill or a machine. But what if the simple, conscious decision to fight back, to be the hero of your own story, is the most powerful therapy of all?